Good morning, and welcome to day two of Protect Your Peace, the Holiday Healing Challenge. I am Jamie Maybright, and I am so glad that you are here with me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask. Just, interrupt. You don't have to even raise your hand or anything. Just let me know. Um, Real quick, we're going to go over the worksheet from yesterday. I emailed it out to everyone. It looks like this on the front. It says day one, introducing the magic morning. So I was going to go through really quick what the magic stands for. So the first one is for meditate. A is for affirmations. G is for get moving. I bet you can figure that one out. And that one's pretty easy. I is inspired writing. The first C is create. And we have a bonus C also. The bonus C is clean. That is one I added to my own list. This was not listed on the top things that successful people do. But to me, to be a successful person, if I can get up and clean just a little bit of something, it really puts my day on a better trajectory. So that's why I added an extra C. I'm calling it our bonus C. So the second page, on the beginning at the top, it says meditation. It says meditation is a practice that involves focusing or clearing your mind using a combination of mental and physical techniques. Depending on the type of meditation you choose, you can meditate to reduce stress, improve your health, and much more. Some people even use meditation to help improve their health, such as using it to adapt to the challenges of quitting tobacco products or sugar. Meditating helps the body get out of a cortisol response. In fact, secret, all three of these answers are cortisol in a row. Cortisol is more addictive than nicotine, and we condition ourselves to default to an automatic cortisol response. And meditating also boosts serotonin and can raise serotonin levels up to 200%. That's been shown scientifically. We are conditioned to think that success, happiness, and peace are because of doing, like we're always supposed to be doing, accomplishing. But in reality, success, happiness, and peace are about receiving. And that is what meditating is all about, is getting quiet enough so that we can receive what it is that Spirit is trying to give us. So the last page, it said the four R's of meditating are relax is number one, return to self is number two, receive is number three, and release is number four. So if anyone has any questions about that first page, first day's pages, you are more than welcome to message me, email me, call me, whatever is easiest for you. Email, if you don't have it, it's on my website and on my Facebook page, and my phone number is on my website. Also, you're welcome to call me. So day two, we are starting with the next two letters, which are A and G. So we said that A is for affirmations. So who here does affirmations? Anybody? I do affirmations, and I'm going to be real with you. When I first started doing affirmations, I thought they were really silly. Hold on, let me put my chair up. Looks like my chair is winning. So when you think about affirmations, what comes to mind? I'm telling you, as a child of the 80s and 90s, what comes to my mind is, do you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit with Stuart Smalley? It's like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and people like me. That is what I thought affirmations were before I learned more about using affirmations and how they really are one of the best tools for creating change in your life. So try to clear your mind of what you think affirmations are, and let's talk a little bit more about how we can draft our own affirmations so that they are more closely aligned to what we want to accomplish. So right now we've been talking about wanting to accomplish more peace and reduce stress. So we're going to talk about different affirmations that we could write that are around that. So What we repeatedly tell or affirm to ourselves becomes our internal reality. And what happens to our internal reality? It turns into our external reality, right? So if we can control the thoughts that we have, the phrases that we're saying to ourselves, our self talk, if we can control that and gear it towards the things that we want, the peace that we want, the change that we want, whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish, if we can change our self talk to be talking us towards that, then that's going to give us the change that we need. A lot of people that teach affirmations teach I am statements. And there's a small problem with I am statements. I am statements tend to not necessarily be productive because when you're making an affirmation, you don't want it to just be a statement. You want it to be practical and it applies to you. You want it to be actionable so that you can do something towards reaching that affirmation. And you want it to produce measurable results. So if we just say every day we wake up every morning and our goal is to be more financially secure, and we wake up and we say, I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. Is that going to make us a millionaire? Absolutely not. Is it going to fool us our brain into thinking that we're a millionaire? Probably not. Because if we make up lies that we tell ourselves, we're not going to believe it. We need to believe what our affirmation statements are. Affirmations really are one of the most effective tools to articulate the person that you need to be to achieve everything you want in your life and then become that person. So there has to be action, not just wishes. It's not just like throwing wishes out there, which sometimes it feels like that, but it isn't. What we do need to think about is what our mental programming looks like. Mental programming is what we think, what we believe, how we behave. It comes from places like how we've been raised, what we're told by others, what we tell ourselves, which is where these affirmations really come in. And our mental programming also takes into consideration all the things that we've experienced. So your experience is different than my experience, and my experience is different than her experience, and her experience is different than his experience. And so we all come to the table with a different light, a different lens, kind of like we talked about yesterday, tuning into our music. We all have our own music that we turn into and tune into, not turn into, tune into. So, what we want to do with our mental programming is we need to take an active participation situation in our mental programming. Because if we don't take an active role in what our mental programming is, we get mentally programmed by society. We get mentally programmed by social media. We get mentally programmed by what's on the news. So, in order to combat that, the best thing to do is to be proactive and have an active mental programming that you choose. And that is where you can use affirmations to help do that. One of the things that I think is very important to do with affirmations is I think that it is very important to, sorry, I just spaced out and thought that maybe I went on the wrong Zoom. Sorry. It's important to actually physically write down your affirmations. Don't just let them be floating up in here in your head. Let them come out, either be typed out. You can do it digitally. There's a lot of different kinds of digital planners and journals. I am not a digital person myself. I'm a very paper person. Gen X, go figure. This is my planner that I use. I'll show you some of the highlights of it. I like to have a physical thing. So it has a spot where I can do 3-month planning at a time. So these are like my mind maps for 3 months at a time and what my goals are. I also have a place that, you find it, every month I write down my intention for the month. And so each month has a different intention based on what the astrological sign that we're going into is or what we're in. So each new moon, I make a new intention, and these are my for so far for this year. Um, Another thing that I do that's really, really helpful. I haven't filled out this week very well yet because I've been super busy, but this has a checklist at the bottom. This is just a daily planner. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, blah, blah, blah. Here has different goals that you want to meet. This is like a checklist for things. So like what I do is I put my magic morning, what I need to do right here. I have it written a little different, but I probably will actually start using the magic order just because I came up with it. It's clever and I like it. But right now, what I have written down is movement, which is our get moving, stillness, which is our meditating, write, which is our inspired writing, create, which is the same, clean, which is the same. And then I also have love because I tend to be, not that I'm not loving, I'm a very loving person, but I tend to need loving attention less than anyone else in my house. And so since I need it the least, I have to go out of my way and be conscious about making sure that I am giving that loving attention to my family because I can very easily just keep working and doing my thing and not ever slow down and cuddle with my family and tell them how much I love them. So that is why I put love on mine because sometimes I'm a bit much as far as love goes. I'm trying to get my sorry, getting my planner back in order. So this one also has a place in the back for like different pages of notes. So I will use it to write affirmations in the very, very back. So anyway, wherever you write them down, it could just be a plain old 50-cent journal. I have those everywhere. In fact, right here on the shelf, all of those right there, those are all just those dollar or 50-cent journals. Sometimes you can get them as cheap as 10 cents if you hit the after back to school sales at like Walmart and stuff. But those are fantastic because you don't have to feel like, oh, I have to write something epic in order to write in this. When you have something that you only paid 50 cents for, you're more likely to just be free with your writing. Whereas, say you bought this really beautiful leather bound journal and you're going to be more particular about wanting everything to be perfect inside of it. So, screw perfection. We are not reaching for perfection. We are never reaching for perfection. We are just reaching for okayest. So, don't be too hard on yourself. Find something cheap and easy and something that you'll actually use. That's what's most important. It doesn't matter how fantastic it is if you don't use it. So, whatever you're going to use, that's what you need to use. Um, it's important to always draft your affirmations on paper or digitally. That way you can carefully craft them using precise language so that they are authentic and tailored to you. My affirmations are not your affirmations, and your affirmations are not her affirmations, and her affirmations are not his affirmations. We all need something different. Now, can you hear someone else's affirmation and it relate to you? Absolutely. Can you use it? Absolutely. But do you have to feel like you relate to someone else's? Not at all whatsoever, because they need to be authentic to you. They also need to be in a language that you should resonate with. It should resonate with you. It's your affirmation. So if it doesn't resonate with you, you're not going to follow through with it. You're not going to care about taking actionable steps to reach it if you don't, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. Another thing is you cannot just tell yourself lies. You need to believe the statements that you craft for your affirmations. So we go back to the I am a millionaire. You can tell yourself that a million times and you will not be a millionaire because it doesn't have any sort of actionable steps that you can take. And it doesn't have I guess it does have measurable results. You know if you have $1 million in your bank or not. But because there's no actionable steps, how can we get to produce results? Because we didn't take any actionable steps. In order to experience concrete changes, our affirmations must lead to changes in our behavior. That's the whole point. We're not going to ever accomplish something different if we keep doing the same flipping thing. So instead of trying to focus on either making something up or just saying, it's silly to just repeat something over and over again that isn't doing anything for you. So if we can help reinforce something that's going to change our behavior, then that is when we're going to see true growth and true results. And I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it one more time. There are three things that affirmations need to be. They need to be practical, they need to be actionable, and they need to produce measurable results. So if your affirmation isn't practical, if it isn't actionable, and it doesn't show where you can produce measurable results, then it's kind of just fluff that you're telling yourself. And we don't want to just tell ourselves fluff. We want to succeed at our affirmations. And I am going to teach you how to succeed at your affirmations. It's really easy. There's 3 steps to succeeding at writing affirmations. So let me get my steps out. The first step to draft an affirmation that is going to be beneficial to you is going to be to affirm what you are committed to. Notice this doesn't say affirm what you want. This is affirm what you are committed to. It needs to be related to what you're actually willing to work for, what you're willing to work towards, what goals you really, really want to reach, not just ones that are these ethereal things that are floating around. We want concrete. We want results. We want to bring this magic that's floating all around us and bring it in front of us and manifest what we're actually trying to do. So when we affirm what we're actually committed to doing, it makes it easier to have results because we committed to it. Success is directly related to committing to something and then remaining committed to it for as long as it takes, right? You can't just say, okay, I am going to commit to losing 15 pounds. I am going to not eat sugar and I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. See, those are 2 actionable steps to get towards my goal. My goal is to lose weight. 2 actionable steps are to stop eating sugar and to work out 3 times a week. But I can't just do that for 1 week. That affirmation, if I say that for 1 week, I'm not going to wake up the next week and weigh 15 pounds less because I worked out 3 times and didn't eat sugar for 1 week. That's not how it works. So sometimes you have to, and not sometimes, always, you have to stay committed to what your goal is for as long as it takes to get there. But the great thing about that is when you are committed, there is always a way to get to that end game, that final goal. So if you are truly committed, you will reach it because you're committed. Repeatedly affirming what it is that you are committed to every single day both keeps your commitment at the top of your mind and it consistently raises your level of commitment over time. I am a firm believer, like I said, in pen and paper, but I'm also a firm believer in Post-its. In fact, I'm sitting at my desk. I've got Post-its here. I've got Post-its here. I got Post-its everywhere. I'm a Post-it queen. I love Post-its. And you know what I do with Post-its? I write things down that I need to remember. Sometimes it's an affirmation. Sometimes it's as simple as just a statement. Like, for example, on this Post-it, it says, rejection is God's protection. And I have that here in my little journal that I write in every day to remind me that just because you're rejected doesn't mean that it just means that wasn't supposed to happen. Something else is supposed to happen. So it's God's way of protecting you. So I thought that was a cute little quote. Rejection is God's protection. And so I keep that on my journal. Each affirmation statement should first clearly articulate exactly what outcome you're committed to experience. This outcome can be a goal, a result, an improvement. Could also be an activity, which could be an action, habit, or ritual that you are trying to change. But it should clearly articulate what it is that you're committing to, because the more clearly you articulate it, the better you're going to be at taking those actionable steps to reach it. So like I said before, losing weight, going to the gym. This is your formula for writing an affirmation, because I know that yesterday there were a few that were like, I don't know how to write affirmations. I don't know anything about writing affirmations. I am going to teach you how to write an affirmation. The first thing that we are going to write is, I am committed to blank. I'm going to get out another piece of paper and fill this out as we go live. I am committed to blank. Now, we decided that we are committed to being full of more peace this holiday season. I got a pen that works first. I got 30 pens, but not a single one that wants to write for me right now. Go with a good old felt tip pen. Can't go wrong with this. So I am committed to feeling peaceful. Feeling peaceful, I think sounds good. I am committed to, and there's your blank, feeling peaceful. No matter what. So I am committed to blank no matter what. There is no other option. So we very clearly stated that I want to feel peaceful. So that's our first step. What you want to do when you do read your affirmations is you want to read it and you want to embody it with emotion and conviction. Because if you are feeling it deeply with emotion and conviction, you are really absorbing it and you're really meaning it from deep inside. So it is important that once you write your affirmation, that when you say it like you mean it. And that could be, I'm committed to feeling peaceful no matter what. There is no other option. Or it could be screaming in the shower, I am committed to feeling peaceful no matter what. Now, screaming about being peaceful to me seems slightly counterproductive, but you do you. If screaming makes you feel better, then do it. It doesn't matter how you say it, but you do want to say it out loud. I think a lot of people forget the power of speaking out loud. Any of you that are witchy knows that witches say spells. We say them out loud because when you say them out loud, you put it out into the universe in another vibration. If you're just thinking it, that's one vibration. But when you bring it out and you speak it through your throat chakra, you are putting a different vibration out into the world, and it's a bigger vibration. So anytime you're wanting to accomplish something, state it, use your words, say it out loud. You will be surprised how many things you can accomplish that just feels like pure manifestation just by speaking what it is that you're aiming for, just speaking it out loud. Like sometimes I will wake up and I'm like, today is going to be great because I am going to find the paper that I was missing yesterday, and I am going to get that paper done and complete it. So whatever it is, I'm speaking out loud to myself what it is that I want to accomplish. And to me, I see a better success rate when I say it out loud to myself. I also, like I said, with the Post-its, I'm very big on writing your affirmations on Post-its and sticking them everywhere. Stick them at your desk, stick them on your mirror in your bathroom, stick them on your bedside table, stick them on your refrigerator, stick them everywhere you want to see them. And they can all say the same thing or they can all say something different. It just really depends on what you want to focus on. I personally like to focus on one thing at a time, but that doesn't mean that I don't have post-its that say different things. It may be that, I post a thing in my bathroom that is different than what I post in my office because they're different focuses, if that makes sense. So what you need to think about when you fill out that I am committed to blank is, what do you need to accomplish or change that you are going to commit to? Like, is there a pain area of your life that causes pain or discomfort? Is there something that you're wanting to accomplish? Like, like I said, losing weight, getting a new job, getting a promotion. It can go towards anything. You can make an affirmation about anything at all. Doesn't matter. Another thing that you need to remember is that this is a rough draft. These are always changeable. This is not permanent. Get another Post-it or use pencil. I'm not opposed to pencil. Erase it, change it, however you want. This is just a rough draft. It's always a rough draft. It's never a final product, because as you grow and evolve, your affirmations are going to change. So don't ever think that you're going to write it wrong, because you can't write it wrong. That's impossible. You can't. All right. Step number 2, after we affirmed what we're committed to, you need to affirm why it is important to you. It's time to support, enhance, and reinforce your commitment by including your why. There are deeply meaningful or compelling reasons that will continually fuel your commitment to take the actions to achieve your commitment, and your affirmation becomes your reality. So the more personal you can get with your whys, the deeper it's going to mean to you, and the more likely it is that you are going to follow through with it. You need to ask, why is this meaningful to you? Why is this a must for you? Why is this something that is a no-brainer? You're going to do this. And in what ways will it enhance your life or others that you care about? So think about that while you're thinking about what your affirmation is. The more compelling the reasons you have to follow through with your commitment, the more likely you are to follow through. So what I want you to do first, after you have your I am committed. I am committed to feeling peaceful no matter what. There is no other option. And now I'm going to come up with 3 to 5 reasons why. Why am I committed to being peaceful? So it's going to look like this. I'm committed to blank, feeling peaceful because, and then you give your reasons. So give me just a minute. Let's think of 3 reasons why we're doing our inspired action. So why do I want to feel peaceful? Because I want to feel grounded in my body. I want to feel peaceful because I'm a better person to my family. And I want to feel peaceful because it helps me be a better person and helps me feel grounded. Lets me not give more love, lets me spread more hope and love. I'm going to just hit spread more joy. So my 3 reasons are: I am committed to feeling peaceful because I want to feel grounded in my body. I want to be a better person to my family, and I want to spread more joy to others. So like I said, do not be afraid to mess up your affirmation. A poorly written affirmation is still better than a non-existent affirmation. So don't be scared to put your pen to paper and get something written down. So after we affirm what we're committed to and we affirm why it's important to you, our last step, step 3, is to affirm which actions you will take and when. Excuse me. Writing an affirmation that merely states the outcome you're committed to and why it's important to you without clarifying the necessary actions to take to produce the outcome is just one notch above pointless. It can also be very counterproductive, because if you're telling yourself affirmations that don't have any action behind it, you're actually training your subconscious to believe something that you're not working towards achieving. And so if you just tell yourself, I'm a millionaire every single day, but you take absolutely zero steps to become more financially wealthy, then you're not going to become a millionaire. But in your brain, you're going to keep telling yourself that you're a millionaire while you're still poor, like me. So you want to make sure that you have actionable steps. So what you need to think about is, what do I need to do to reach the achieved outcome? You need to clarify specific actions that are required for you to follow through with your commitment, and clearly state how often you will execute the necessary actions. A lot of times we already know what we need to do to improve. We're just not actually committed to doing it. So when you sit there and you think about what actions you're going to take, hopefully you'll know what actions you need to take. But depending on what your desired outcome is, you may not know what you need to get started. For example, if I knew was going to lose weight, I know the actionable steps that I need to take are to eat better and to get more exercise. That's a no-brainer. We've all been taught that our whole lives. But let's say that what I want to do is to start my own business so that I can provide for my family. I may not know what the first step is to making a new business, and that's okay. Instead of committing to a specific action, what you're going to do is you're going to commit to devoting time to finding out what that next action is going to be. So you have to figure out what the next step to take is. So if you were trying to start a business and you didn't know what the next step to take was, you would take that time that you're committing to. I'm going to commit to the time to find out what the next first step is to starting a business. And then you might ask a friend, you might Google it, you might read articles, you might watch a YouTube video, you might find a book about it. There's all different ways that you can find out what the next step is going to be. And that's what you're committing to, is to finding out that next step. So you need to know what your goal is, and then you need to figure out what your action needs to be. And the more specific you are, the better that you're going to be. So you want to be very, very specific. When you are defining your actions, please remember that some actions may be recurring. For example, if you have to work out 3 times a week, you're going to have to do that for many weeks before you lose the weight that you want. It's not just a one and done. Other ones may be sequential. For example, if you're starting a business, you're going to need to get your EIN number, and you're going to need to, decide if you're going to be a corporation or if you're going to be a sole proprietorship. There's certain steps that you need to take in a row. So it could be a repeating action, or it could be a sequential action. If you don't know which actions you need to take to affirm, then you just need to schedule time to discover and determine what those actions will be. We just talked about that. If you don't know what to do, just schedule time to spend figuring out what to do. The last tip for that is to keep this as simple as possible. Don't overthink it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just keep it simple, stupid, as people say. The more specific your actions are, the better. Just make sure that include your frequency and time frames to help clarify when you will begin and end your actions. So, for example, for the next 7 months, I will spend 3 days a week working out for 1 hour so that I can achieve my weight loss goals. You define what you want, what you're going to do, and what time frame you're going to do it. And if you list all of that out, you have an affirmation that you can use as long as you want. And then you can rinse and repeat, or you can rinse, redo, and repeat. So with mine, I am committed to feeling peaceful because I want to feel grounded in my body. I want to be a better person to my family. I want to spread more joy to others. And I will wake up every day. Will wake up every day in December and meditate for at least 5 minutes. So that's the actionable step and the time frame that I'm going to do it. So in order to feel more peaceful, why I'm going to do it, I know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up every day in December and meditate for at least 5 minutes. So that seems kind of like a long affirmation, but that's the whole point, is to be very specific. So wouldn't you get a lot more out of, I'm committing to feeling peaceful so that I can feel grounded, be a better person, spread more joy. And I will do this by waking up every day in December and meditating for at least 5 minutes. To me, that seems very defined, very actionable, very measurable results. So I hope that that takes the fear out of affirmations. We're going to very, very, very quickly go over the G, which is get moving. So get moving. You can get moving any way you want, but if you will spend just a few minutes as soon as you wake up in the morning, instead of picking up your phone and scrolling on your stuff, instead of doing that, get up and stretch. That's movement. Some people may want to get up and do jumping jacks or sit-ups or something like that. I myself am more of a slow mover in the morning. I like a nice walk in the morning. I like to get outside in the morning. To me, that's very important, is to have time walking outside. But on days that like today, I woke up and there's 4 inches of snow. Was not expecting that. Did not take the dog for a walk. I haven't even stepped outside yet. I literally still in my monster feet house shoes. So it doesn't have, you can give yourself grace within your morning routine. But I did get up and get moving. I got up and I stretched and I kind of do a neck thing, and just whatever it is that gets you moving, gets that blood flowing. Another thing I love to do in the morning, which I don't do enough, is cranking up the music and just having a good dance party. Get your frequency up by listening to something that brings you joy, that gets you moving, that gets your blood pumping. So whatever it is in the morning that you can do to get moving, implement it into your day. Implement it first thing in your day. And I'm not saying this has to be an hour-long workout. It absolutely can be an hour-long workout, but it doesn't have to be. It can be as simple as doing 10 jumping jacks. That'll take you less than a minute. And you know what? You're going to be a lot more alert, aware, and awake if you do 10 jumping jacks than if you just go sit on the toilet on your phone and check your social media. So in the morning, it is very important to get some sort of movement in. So whatever that is. Now, you can have a full-fledged workout later on in the day, not a problem. But do something in the morning when you wake up that gets you moving. Like I said yesterday, I like to get things combined. I can use meditation and movement and affirmations all at the same time doing yoga. So you don't have to do one thing and then do the next thing and do the next thing. By the time we get to the end of everything yesterday, you're going to see that you can combine a lot of these things so that you can get your magic morning done within, 15, 20 minutes. Or you can take as long as an hour or an hour and a half, whatever it is that fits your lifestyle. But with 10 minutes is plenty of time to do all of these things before you get up and start your day, so that you have taken the steps to put yourself on the right trajectory, so that you are more peaceful, you are less stressed out, you are more focused, you are more confident. All of these things come from that magic morning. So we'll review really quick. Monday, we went over meditation for the M. A, affirmations. G, get moving. So tomorrow we will go over I and C, and there's 2 C's, but one of those is really, really short. So tomorrow we will go over the I is going to be inspired writing. We're going to talk about journaling, because journaling is very, very important for your mental health, and it's also very important for reaching goals. And it's also one of the things that the most successful people in the world practice. They practice meditation, they practice affirmations, they practice journaling. So if you want to be successful in what you are trying to accomplish in life, I'm not saying you have to be a CEO of a Fortune 500. I'm just saying that it's important to reach what we want to reach and succeed what successes we want to have. So I hope everyone has a great day. I hope your Tuesday is fantastic. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to send out this replay. I'm also going to send out a meditation that I wanted to do yesterday, but we got cut off short. Since we did not get cut off short today, I will go ahead and do it, but I'm going to do it on a separate video. So the way Zoom saves videos, I think it'd be easier to access if it was on its own video instead of at the end of this one. But I'm going to do a meditation for y'all. I will send that out, and I will send out today's worksheets about affirmations. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Thank you so much.